everybody, it's Brooke with Mrs. Cog Hill Farm on a beautiful September day here in Alabama. The temperature is just perfect. I don't exactly know what it is, but it's somewhere in the 70s and it's quite comfortable. And I'm in a much better mood than I was in the last video. If you didn't happen to see it, it was about my little precious dog Dee Dee, who stole my heart the moment I found her in the middle of the road. Neglected, in bad shape, not being taken care of. She's done a complete 360, but her health went downhill and I was worried to death because she had been on 14 days worth of antibiotics that did absolutely nothing for an issue that she was having with her bladder. So upon a visit to Dr. D at the little clinic that he volunteers, well, he doesn't volunteer, at the clinic that he works at on Saturday mornings, he did blood work. He did a urinalysis again to find that the bacteria that she had was still there. So we did another round of antibiotics, a much stronger antibiotic, and she's better. Y'all, she is better, and I'm gonna show her to you. I didn't have to go far because she knew I was outside, so she was out here also. Dee Dee, tell everybody you are feeling so much better, and thank you to everyone who reached out, gave us ideas, gave us recommendations. Everything that you guys did worked because she is much, much better. Much better, and I couldn't be happier. If you can't tell by my voice, this little girl is special. She's very special, and hopefully she has many, many more years with us. However, none of us are guaranteed another day, and I realize that. But if it's something that can be helped, we always want to do the best we can to get things to feeling better, and happy to say Dee Dee's there. So now, on another note, if you saw one of Jason's last videos, you know that I got the tractor in kind of a predicament by bush hogging. That's what we call it, brush hogging, an area that was pretty overgrown, and it's down in the bottom of our property in the backside, a place we never ever go. And yeah, the tractor's fine, but I wanted to get a disc harrow to go on the back of my tractor because what I cut down was a lot of vines, and Jason thinks that if I put the tiller in that area, those vines are just going to intertwine around the tiller and it's going to get tangled up and be a big mess. So something we don't have as far as implements go is a disc harrow. Well, I reached out to every Kubota dealer that's in our area and nobody has one that's made by Land Pride, which I want something that's quality. I want something that's going to hold up for the test of time, that when we get ready to use it, we don't have to replace a bearing, or the metal's not bent on it, whatnot, and I just can't find one. We are very specific with our needs because it needs to be able to work with both the Kubota tractor and Jason's granddaddy's tractor, which is an old Ford 8N. The Kubota will accommodate pretty much anything within reason, size-wise, but his granddaddy's tractor, it really doesn't need to carry one bigger than a 5-footer. And that's been the difficult place where we are trying to find one. You can find 6-footers, you can find 7-footers, but we want to be able to utilize it with both tractors because he wants to use it in the front gardens too. So when we started talking about planning that little area for the deer, for the wildlife, for the birds, we know we have to have something to get that soil amended and not just plant the seeds on the top of the ground. This is where my friend pulled through. So I have plans to leave the farm here in just a minute, and I'll tell you more about that. But if you did not notice behind me, these are the drift roses that we planted on the bank on the side of our house where the Alabama parterre garden is, so to speak. And you couldn't have a prettier sight over here on this side of the property. It is absolutely beautiful. Roses have engulfed this bank, and these peach-colored, pink-colored drift roses have really, really done their job. And I couldn't help but show them to you since I was standing right here. So my buddy Catherine over at G&G Farm, she reached out to me and she said, hey, I got a disc you can borrow. I'm not much on borrowing stuff from people because I don't want something to happen to it while I have use of it and it get back to them, and you know. So, my thoughts were, yes, thank you for the opportunity to let me borrow it, but I'm gonna pass. Well, when I figured out I couldn't find one in this area, I said, you know what? I might reach back out to Catherine and see if that offer still stands. So of course it does. And she said, as a matter of fact, my neighbor just borrowed it. He just brought it back to me, and you're more than welcome to come get it. So Catherine and Tony have been a bit under the weather. If you guys follow them, you probably know she hasn't put out a lot of content here lately. And then her husband, Tony, got sick. I'm gonna keep my distance. All I need Catherine to do is to operate the tractor and lift this piece of equipment up onto my trailer so I can get it back home, get it on the tractor, and see what we think about a disc before we actually go buy one. If I tear it up, I'll buy her a new one. But she says I don't have to worry about that because it's been there and done that. I got my trailer hooked up and I have my trusty sidekick with me, Dee Dee. Y'all, she had gotten to the point where she could not even ride in the car because she couldn't control her bladder. And that's what had me so concerned. When I told Dr. D that, and he knew that the antibiotics that she was first on did not work, his immediate thought was she's become a diabetic. So thankful that's not the case. And I'm thankful to have my trusty sidekick back by my side. I just arrived at G&G and she had to give me a camera lesson real quick because I was stuck on something I didn't know how to fix. But I want to see, before we do what we got to do, if Goldie will acknowledge me. So here she is down at the end of this pasture. Of course I know Otis will come see me. Oh, well, y'all got to see Catherine first. Here she is. I'm not getting close to her. She's staying that far away from me. She's recovered. We don't think she's contagious, but I can't take any chances.
No, you cannot take chances. Your immune system is crap anyway. So.
That's right. So here's what I'm thinking, Catherine. I know you don't have a microphone on, so it's going to be hard to hear you, but I don't think Goldie liked me.
Oh, no, I think it was Nugget.
You think it was Nugget?
I think it was Nugget keeping her away because with Otis being younger, she whoops Otis. And when I say whoop, I don't mean she beats him up. I mean she gives him the stink eye and he leaves.
She's the woman in charge.
Yeah.
She was not the woman in charge at my farm. By all means, she was not the woman in charge.
Hey,
So,
Goldie.
let's see. Should I come in?
Yeah, come on in here.
Okay.
Come on down there where she's at. Ain't nothing else.
All right. I bet she's going to run from me. She doesn't like me. You know, this business about rehoming Goldie's over here grinning from ear to ear because she said, I wanted to be away from that Nugget, and this was the best thing y'all could have ever done, was brought me to live at Catherine's farm, where she's happy. She is happy. She will eat out of Catherine's hand. She would not do that at my farm. She's gonna get her a treat, and we'll see. We'll see what Catherine can do versus what I can do. I'm not gonna get real close to her yet. I don't want her to be scared of me. All right, y'all, look. She's walking right up to Catherine. At our farm, I could not tell you one time that she ever walked up to me like that. So let's see. Let's see what's gonna happen. How about you let me have that pan, Catherine?
Here you go.
And let me see if she will.
She likes her special food.
We're gonna see if it was me or if it was Nugget.
Nugget.
All right. Yeah, it's me. It's your mean old previous owner.
She's like, I know.
Okay, so maybe it wasn't me. I tell you, I'm glad she's here though, because her personality has completely done a 360 since she's been living here. I know there were some people that had some reservations about separating Goldie and Nugget, but this has been a true blessing for her. She's a different animal, literally.
She really is.
She's a different animal. I have never been this close to her since since she came to live at our farm, if I reached my arm out, she backed away. She's a totally different emu. So I think the proof is here. Maybe it wasn't me, maybe it was Nugget. Well, y'all, I tell you what, I know one thing's for sure. We made the appropriate decision when we decided that Goldie needed to separate from her brother Nugget, come and live at G&G, where she could reproduce with Otis, have a happily ever after life. He's a sweetheart, isn't he? Okay, y'all, so here's what I came for, not to get Goldie back. I came because you are being so generous to let me borrow your old disc harrow. And it's a 5-footer. You said that you have used it and abused it and nothing's gonna happen to it.
No, I have abused this thing.
Well, I just need to disc up this one little area, make sure it's what I need before we drive obviously hundreds of miles because I can't find one, and go from there. You know what, Dee Dee? It's nice when your buddies live right down the road from you. They don't mind letting you borrow something that you don't have. It's just a blessing. It's just a good thing. And I am thankful to have a friend like Catherine. Aren't you? I made it back to Cog Hill Farm with the disc on the trailer. But first, I got to get my bush hog off. The bush hog is on the back of the tractor, but I think I want to leave it on there while I get the disc off, just to have some weight on the back. I did leave the chain on there. I'm just going to disconnect it, get it to where I can lift it off the trailer, then go switch out the implement and see how this works. All right, Nugget, come here, buddy. I want you to know that I saw Goldie, and I think that the whole reason that she never was very interacting with us had to do with you. You know, she acted like she loved Catherine immediately, which was a good thing. I don't mean it wasn't a good thing, but I just felt like, well, did she not like me? And I don't think that was the case at all. I think that Nugget is so dominant, and he's the same way with the boys. He's not mean to them. He just lets them know that he's the sheriff and y'all are the deputy. I don't care what happens, that's not gonna change. And that was the same with Goldie. She realized that Nugget was the boss and she just backed away. So I'm happy she's happy. And this is what I have to deal with. So I'm not gonna take that bush hog off because I do need a little bit of weight on there in order to lift the disc off. I don't think it's that heavy, but I don't want to have nothing on the back and it not be able to pick it up. All right, got it off. I'm gonna let it sit right here while I go down to, we're gonna call it Implement Alley, and disconnect the bush hog that's on the back of the tractor. Look at here, what perfect timing. Perfect timing. I don't know if I do or not. So the Pat's Easy chain is wonderful. I think I'm all the way back. I need to come up a little bit on that one. But here's my question. Is this too long?
Yes.
Should I go ahead and pick up on it first?
No, we're good.
All right, you think that's gonna work, or we gotta get the shorter one?
This is gonna work.
All right, what do you think about the disc?
I like it.
This is the G&G special. All right, I'm hooked up and I'm headed over to the place where we're going to hopefully disc up a spot.
You ready?
Well, somebody followed me over here because we want to make sure that I've got it adjusted correctly. Right, Jason?
That's right.
It might need to go deeper.
Correct.
We just don't know until we actually put it down on the ground to see what our tractor needs doing. Do I just put it down and start going?
Not yet. Let me see.
Well, I mean, once I get going.
Yeah. That's all you're gonna do.
Of course not while you're back there.
That's a 5-foot disc right there.
think I'm gonna have to adjust it. This side's not even touching over here. Not good. So breaking up new ground, that's a different animal than disking somewhere that's a garden space that that's been worked and just got plowed. We're trying to break up new ground here. And the reason why I know some may be saying, why don't you just use your tiller? I'm scared all these vines are just gonna get wrapped around my tiller, y'all. That's why I thought the disc may work, but I don't know if this disc is gonna be big enough. Definitely need to adjust it some more. I'm gonna get her to come over here. Cause them back ones are not even hitting the ground. A lot of times they're just sitting there. Front ones are doing a little bit, but not them back ones. Come on over here in the shade so I can adjust it. Y'all, I just think, I'm telling you, when you start tilling this up right here, all these blackberry vines, that's just gonna wrap around that tiller. I guarantee it. It's doing a little something. I mean, it's breaking the ground up some. It don't have to be deep to plant a cover crop. That's the thing, you know, it don't have to be. I mean, we're talking little bitty seeds here. That might do it right there. Honestly. I tell you though, I mean, all we're planting is these little bitty tiny seeds.
We don't want to go real deep.
No, I mean, for what we're doing, that's probably gonna work out.
Well, Catherine was very expressive that we may need to add more weight, but I don't know that we want to go deep.
We're not planting a garden. All we're planting is a food plot.
So
We're just trying to get the top of it done. We can get some seeds, good seed to ground contacts. All we're wanting. It's breaking it up. Now it's not super deep, but again, we're not planting a garden. We're not trying to go 18 inches deep in the ground. We're just gonna throw some seeds out here for a cover crop.
You think I ought to
for
go
food
over it
plot.
twice?
Oh, I would go over it like you're doing and then go back this way with it. Yeah.
All right.
Have fun.
Well, I'm mighty impressed with the disc, even though Catherine said it was old and 10 years old to be exact. It did a really good job at breaking up the top of the soil in order to get some seeds to sprout. I mean, it's a sight difference. I don't know how it looks on camera, but it is a sight difference walking out here, seeing this dirt that's actually, well, let me get my shoe in the camera. It's exposed compared to what it was before. It was just vines. There was no way we could have planted the way it was before. There's still some spots that are a little bit, like I probably missed this spot right here. I thought I went over every little area, but for the most part, y'all, it's pretty broke up. So now I got to look at the weather forecast and see when we got some rain coming, because obviously seeds are not going to sprout without water, and there is absolutely no way that I can get water over here. Some of you were concerned in Jason's video that I would be encouraging deer to come where the fruit orchard was, where the greenhouse was, where our roses were. Yeah, it's a long way across our property. We see deer over here anyway, This is the far end of the cow pasture. Let's see, if you look through this pine thicket right there to the clearing, that's the back side of the cow pasture, and that's the end. We see deer over here quite frequently. Most of the time it's in the evening when I go to feed the cows. I can see the deer in the wood line over here. So deer are here. The dogs do a good job at keeping the deer away from the livable side of the property, and that's where our roses are, that's where our greenhouses are. Fruit orchard, not to say they don't sneak up and get them a bite, but I'm not a hunter. So the reason we're doing this is for wildlife, not just deer, for birds, for turkey, for anything that lives around here to have something special, and to know that they can come here. Mary Carl can take photographs of them and enjoy being outside. Hopefully one day we can get a blind or something put out here where she can sit and just enjoy herself watching these critters come in and feed. And this can be a year-round thing. Yes, it's almost hunting season. That's when we're getting started. But that doesn't mean that we can't continue to plant things that are good for the season. Right now we're just going to do a cover crop. Jason's got some things in mind, and encourage all species, not just deer, but encourage turkey, encourage the birds. So I think we got a good start on this, and I appreciate Catherine letting me borrow the disc, because I did try to go out and purchase one, and it just wasn't in our cards to get one right away. But I do think it will be useful for future as far as Jason goes with his gardens, and then we'll do this again. So yes, we got to pick up our seeds, look at the weather forecast, and I got to go make sure everybody's okay this afternoon. We fed this morning and took care of the farm, but it's gotten on into the day, so we're gonna make sure everybody's okay and show you all a glimpse, and then we'll figure out what we're gonna do here as far as seeds go. There wasn't a lot of dust flying this time. When I was bush hogging, of course, there was dust flying everywhere, and there was some dust with the disc, but not enough to clog up the filter in the tractor to where it overheated like it did last time. So I get to drive home this time instead of walking through my trail back to the house, which is quite a ways away. She's okay. Tater. Mildred. I see Moody, and I see Little Man, and I see something that I have not seen before. Look here. Y'all see way out there beside Matilda? It looks like she's made a friend. Look there. Tater said, quit talking about Matilda's friends and come feed me. All right, there it is. Cattle egret. Matilda has a friend. How about that? Actually, two friends. And there comes another one. I don't know if y'all saw it, but it came in for a landing. And I always thought that cattle egrets ate flies off of cows, until here recently, our daughter, Mary Carl, told me differently. What cattle egrets do is they get the bugs when the cows take a step. The cows stir up the bugs, and y'all just saw it right there, caught on camera. The cows stir up the bugs, grasshoppers, whatever, and the cattle egrets eat the bugs. Now, I always, like I said, misconception on my part, because I sure thought that they ate flies. Matilda said, it's time to eat. It's time to eat. Her friends are coming with her. All right, Tater. I'm about to get you fed. And Miss Mildred, you know your name, don't you, girlfriend? Mr. Moody looks like he doesn't care if he eats or not. Matilda coming in. Y'all look how good she looks. I know I say it every time we see her, but she is doing so incredibly well. Not dragging that leg at all. Come on under that thigh curtain. All right. I'm gonna be quiet so we can get y'all fed. I saw you and your new friends. Now look at y'all, all lined up, ready for dinner. Oh my goodness gracious. Y'all act like you hadn't been fed since a week ago. I promise you, y'all, everybody has had breakfast. Everybody has been well fed. All right, Moody. Gotta play a game of trick. A little bit more. All right. Come on down here. Everybody's gonna get some. Tater. Little man. Here you go, baby. There you go. And now they all have their places and all is well. Of course, they have to establish a pecking order just like every other animal, but eventually they get it figured out. Mildred, she gets along with everybody. And then you got these three down here on this end that they pretty much get along with everybody. But Moody is the biggest. So, you know, he has a tendency to kind of swing his weight around. We respect him, but he doesn't have a mean bone in his body. He's a big boy. I hear somebody. What you in there talking about, little one? Huh? Pocket. You act like it's time to eat. Hey there, girl. All right. Yeah, we gonna get you fed too. And just like I know Moody is the more dominant of the cows, the same thing is true with Mr. Nugget here. If he comes up for air from cleaning my shoes, I am feeding him in the stall here with a hanging bucket. I lock Jesse and Honey into the other pasture because they're the ones that do not go up at night. I put the emus in a stall, the little emus, let them eat their food, and then I allow Nugget to come in this stall, and he can come in here throughout the night because the door stays closed inside to Snow White and the Silkies, and Nugget has his own food. We don't want any competition when it comes to food. Everybody has to eat, and we make sure that no matter what needs to be done. Nugget, quit cleaning shoes, buddy. This is emu food. Shoes aren't emu food. And this evening, as Jesse and Honey have their supper, and the cows all head back out to the green grass and the cow pastures, I think to myself, here it is evening again. In the morning, it'll be time to start all over again and mouths to be fed. One thing that I'll say is, I don't ever say, I wish I didn't have to go take care of those animals, or that they're in any way a burden to us. I'm very fortunate to have every animal that's on this farm, and I'm so thankful that we can help them. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and until the next one, y'all be good.